Hello and welcome to today's Take 5. I'm super excited. We're continuing to work through the book of 1 Samuel together. Yes, please. And we're on chapter 13. We've seen lots of things, highs and lows, ups and downs. We know that Saul is now king. The nation of Israel has rejected God, and they're outplaying now this outworking or this like structure within the nation, which is they've got a new king. And he's a guy called Saul, and he's making some bad decisions. He's operating out of insecurity and fear. And what's happening now, we're in chapter 13, and he's made some really stupid decisions. And what's happening in chapter 13 is that Samuel, who's also the leader of the nation and this recognized prophet, hearing God's voice, kind of like hearing God like speak to him about all these kind of like nuts and bolts, all the things that are working within the nation and within the people. And he's now he's rebuking Saul for making these bad decisions. And I think it's really important to highlight some things and to notice some of the mistakes that Saul makes in his kind of like insecurity and in his leadership. And basically he's put into these like tight spots where out of insecurity he's compelled to take things into his matters into his own hands and to try and like bring about a change. And I just feel like sometimes in trying to fix his own problem, he's actually just making it worse. That's that typical, like, he's digging a hole for himself that he can't get out of. And Samuel's speaking to him and he's like, what have you done? What are you doing? And I've written down this statement, which is, I feel like related to Jesus. It's called, it's too high a price for you to be able to pay on your own. It's too high a price. The price can only be paid. The mistakes, the empty spaces in our life can only be paid fully by Jesus. And so those things that sin and shame, that always seek to separate us and isolate us from God. And they want us to kind of like, sin always we try to take matters into our own hands when we function out of insecurity and sin. We let shame kind of like become the ruler and the navigator for life. And basically, we just need to come to this conclusion, like we know, in being a follower of Jesus, is that it's too high a price for me to pay, but actually Jesus has paid it in full. And I've written this kind of thing down that kind of like encouraged me from reading this chapter, is that sin and shame is an enemy that can only be defeated by Jesus, a problem that Jesus can solve, a wound that only Jesus can heal. It's a price that only Jesus can pay. The cost is so great, only Jesus can cover it and fit the bill. Only Jesus. And so don't be like Saul. Don't keep digging a hole for yourself. Don't take things into your own control out of insecurity and fear. But just recognize that it's only because of Jesus, it's only through Jesus that you can do these things, that you're more than a conqueror in Christ.